Good morning, fifth grade. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you guys are staying healthy at home, washing those hands, taking care of yourself. Um, hey, don't forget, still gotta do some school stuff. You know what I'm talking about? All right. So today we're gonna be talking about numbers. Obviously, it's math class, right? But I don't know. I was trying to think about just some of the important numbers like we see in the word, right? Like we see certain sets of numbers used over and over and over and over again, right? Like the number 40. You know, it rained for 40 days and 40 nights, right? Moses. Moses was up on the mountain. So, like, when we read the story of the Ten Commandments, when Moses got the Ten Commandments, we normally think of that story as just being like, oh, yeah, he went up the mountain, he got him, and then he came back down. Like, man, the Israelites are so dumb. Like, man, why they start worshiping this golden calf and stuff? Like, Moses was gone a couple hours. Like, duh. You know, but no, like, Moses was gone for 40 days. He spent 40 days up on that mountain, so they probably started to freak out a little bit, like maybe Moses is dead. You know, who knows? So, you know, that's kind of a crazy number where we see that 40 again. And then I'm sure you guys remember how many days was Jesus tempted out in the desert, in the wilderness? All right, someone say it, because I know someone out there knows what it is. How many days was it? 40. Absolutely. And then remember, he came back, started his ministry. Um, Now, like the number 3. The number 3 is a big one too, right? Remember, we were talking about this before you guys left. You know, so Jesus spent 3 days in the tomb, right, before he was resurrected. Um, who was that other person that had something happen? It was for 3 days. Who was it? Actually, there's a couple people. Um, one's Old Testament, one's New Testament. All right, so Old Testament, who thinks they remember? They weren't doing what God told them to do. They tried to go to the wrong place. Didn't want to go to Nineveh, right? Who was it? You got it now? Come on. There you go, Jonah. Absolutely. So we had Jonah in the belly of the whale, 3 days. Jesus in the tomb, 3 days. And then remember this dude, we just read about him. He got blinded. How many days was he blind? Yeah, there you go. Exactly, 3 days. So man, there's significance in the numbers. Like there's multiple times in the word where God uses numbers to get meaning across to his people. So I feel like that's important as we jump into math today. All right, so check it out, guys. We are on page 666 and 667. Wait a minute, my battery's running low. All right, hold that thought. All right, that should not be an issue. So, we're on page 666 and 667. All right, good. Stay down. Awesome. So today, while you guys are looking that up in your book, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what we're going to be learning today. So today, super duper easy. Check it out. All we're going to be doing is adding and subtracting whole numbers with decimal numbers. I know. You're like, we did this in second grade, Mr. Poole. I know, but we're going to do it again, right? We got to go through it again. So let's rock and roll. I'm going to read. If you don't have your book out, hit pause. Once you get it, go ahead and hit play, and we're going to start this thing off. I'm not going to be reading directly out of the book, maybe this first example, but then we're just going to roll. We're going to roll with this bad boy. So be ready. Have that math sheet ready too, so you can write down some of the answers from the homework as I go over those with you guys. All right, so new concept, page 666. It says the Kubots hired a carpenter to cut an opening in their wall and to frame and install a new door. The carpenter needed to order a frame for the door to cover the thickness of the wall. The carpenter knew that the siding was 1 inch thick, that the wall was 3.5 inches thick, and that the drywall on the inside of the house was 1/2 inch thick. So he has to put all those numbers together to be able to get the right size door frame to fit in the door. So all we gotta do is add those numbers up. Let's go with purple. All right, so we know we had 1 inch of siding, and we're gonna add that with, let's see, what did it say? The wall was 3.5 inches thick, because the drywall, or the stud, so the stud's that big. The siding is this much. And then the drywall, we'll throw it up here, was 0.5 inches. Now, here's the thing. This is where these kind of problems go wrong all the time, is if we just line them straight up, just like that. We line it vertical, we put it all along the right-hand side, and we try to add, it's gonna mess up the answer. So watch how it messes up my answer. So that's 11, we carry the 1, and then we bring our decimal down, and we get 4.1. I'm gonna put an X through it, just so we know that one's not the right way to do it. So check it out. We gotta line up our decimals. Now, the 1 inch side of the siding did not have a decimal, so let's add one. Let's add one so we don't make that mistake, right? So we add a decimal, and obviously we got this space right here. Let's put something in there just to make sure we don't accidentally mess up. Boom, put a 0. We could put zeros for the rest of our life to the right of this thing, and it's still gonna be the same value. It's still gonna be 1. All right, so let's rock and roll. 5 plus 0 plus 5 is 10. Carry the 1, 3, 4, 5. Bring our decimal straight down. So they need to make sure the frame is 5 inches wide. Now, if they end up doing it this way, they got a 4.1 inch frame. There's gonna be gaps on both sides. It's not gonna look good. You're gonna have to go back and buy another $200 door and frame. That would not be fun. Trust me, I've probably done it. All right, cool. So, that's basically our lesson, friends. Come on. All right, gonna have to do it this way. So really the most important thing of today's lesson, line up your decimals. And if your number doesn't have a decimal, add a decimal. That way, we don't make simple mistakes. So let's check out example 1 right now, you guys. It says, in a science experiment, the scientists placed food at the end of a short maze and placed a mouse at the beginning of the maze. The scientists timed how fast the mouse reached the food. The scientists repeated the experiment 3 times. Now, the mouse's time was 6.2 seconds, 4.25 seconds, and 3 seconds. What was the total time of all 3 trials added together? So we had 6.2, we had 3, and we had 4.25. Sweet, let's add these things up. All right, I notice 1 does not have a decimal, so we're gonna add that decimal. Now, notice I have 2 decimal places over here. Let's make this one 2. All right, this one has 1 decimal place. Let's make it 2. Sweet, now we can add all these together. So let's pull it in. So we got 3.00, and then we're gonna have 4.25. Now, easy peasy, all we're doing is adding, guys. Check it out. 0 plus 0 plus 5, boom, there's 5. 2 plus 0 plus 2, sweet, that's 4. Bring those decimals straight down, there it goes. And then we got 6 plus 4 plus 3. I'm gonna go 6 plus 4 because I know that equals 10 right away. And then 10 plus 3 is easy. 10 plus 3 is 13. And then don't forget, we must label. So, all 3 trials put together, that little mousey did it in 13.45 seconds. Or 13 and 45 hundredths of a second. Sweet. Now, let's jump to number 2. Now, do you guys get, I hope you're getting why I added the extra zeros. Just so that we can line them up all over here, and we got our decimal points lined up right there. And I hope you're getting that. If you don't get it, jump back real quick, maybe watch this one problem one more time, and then hopefully it'll click and be like, ta-da, the little light bulb pops on. Bing. All right, let's check out example number 2. see if it'll erase from this side. Nope. Moving. Okay, it's being silly today. All right. Sweet. Here we go. Example 2. A computer that began a complex task 8 minutes ago needs 24.6 minutes altogether to complete the task. So we have 24.6 minutes. Sounds like he's uploading some videos to YouTube. Takes like 30 minutes. All right, so 24.6 minutes to upload that video. And it's already been working for 8 minutes. Now notice I already put that in the ones place right here because I know it's 8 full minutes. It's not going to be 0.8 minutes it's been working. So I'm going to put a decimal. I'm going to throw a 0 in here. And then we need to find out how much more time still needs to be done. So we're looking for the difference between these two numbers, right? So difference is telling me what kind of process should I do? Should I add? Should I subtract? Should I multiply? Should I divide? Someone yell it out. Bingo, there you go. We need to subtract. So 6 minus 0 is 6. And we got to bring that decimal point straight down. And then, now, can I take 8 away from 4? If I only have $4, can I spend 8? I mean, if you have a credit card. But not right now, right? So we got to borrow from this too. It becomes a 1. That becomes 14. 14 minus 8. Sweet is 6, right? And then 1 minus 0 is 1. Awesome. So we have 16.6 minutes until that process is done. All right. Hope you guys are with me. I think you are. I hope you are. Hey, I've been checking my views, making sure you guys watching your videos. Every now and then it's like, oh, I only had 20 views on that video. Someone not watching the videos. All right. No. You guys have been doing a really good job. Keep it up. And if you have questions, once again, shoot me a quick email. Mr. Poole, I don't get why this was this, or I didn't get why I got this question wrong. Let me know. Sweet. Example 3. Check out example 3 with me, guys. Hey, worked easy that time. Example 3 says, which digit in 4.65 is in the same place as the 2 in the number 12. So look where that 2 is. What place is that? It's easy, right? It's real easy. Notice we could put a decimal right here if we wanted to and put a couple decimal places to be the same here. So this is right to the left of the decimal or in the ones place. The 4 is also in the ones place. Ta-da! Easy peasy. Sweet. Check out letter A. Now in lesson practice, all we're doing here, guys, is doing a little adding. Here, I'm gonna grab my book so that I don't have to keep walking back and forth because I'm like, back and forth. So, make it easier just to do this. So for A, we've got 4.3 plus 2. Now, am I gonna put the 2? All right, am I gonna put the 2 here? All right, no, that's not right? We gotta get rid of that guy. That 2 needs to go over here. We can add a decimal in our 0, and then just add. 3 plus 0 is 3. 4 plus 2 is 6. Drop that decimal straight down, boom, 6.3. Easy peasy. Let's do C. 6.4 plus 24. Notice it's 24 whole numbers. 24. No decimals, so we're going to add a decimal. So we add our decimal, put a little 0 on there. Now we can add these together. 4 plus 0, easy. 4. Bring our decimal straight down. 6 plus 4, pretty sure that's 10, right? There's our 0, carry the 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. So we got 30.4. Awesome blossom. Oh, that just made me want like a bloomin' onion or something from Outback right now. Ooh, man, I'm hungry. All right, here's E. So we got 5.2. Plus 0.75. So we got to put our point first, our decimal, 0.75, and then we have the whole number 2. So we're going to put that 2 over here, and we're going to add our decimal point, and we're adding these guys up. All right. Hey, knock it off. All right, here we go. So let's add some zeros in the empty spots. All right, so 5 plus 0 is 5. 2 plus 7 is 9. And then we bring our decimal straight down. There we go with our decimal. And then we go 5 plus 2 is 7. So we got 7.95. Now, we need to work some subtraction problems in here because subtraction gets tricky sometimes in the very same way when we accidentally put it in the wrong spot. Okay, so let's try I. Let's do I. So we have 4.75 minus 2. Now, if we put the 2 over here and work that out, which we've had that kind of issue in the past, then we're going to end up with a way wrong answer. We're going to end up with 4.73, and that's completely wrong. Notice this is a whole 2. There's no decimal there. So it does not belong over here on the decimal side, right? So let's take that guy. We're going to put him here. We're going to put a decimal right here, and a couple of zeros. Woo! Man, the screen is going wild today. All right, let's see what we can do. That's right in there. Try the other pen. See, the other pen has the elect. Close that. Nope, it's just being silly. All right, so we're gonna subtract these guys. 5 minus 0 is 5, 7 minus 0 is 7, 4 minus clock is 2, and then we bring our decimal straight down. And 2.75. All right, I might have to shut this off and go to markers. Too close for computer, we gotta go to markers. All right, let's see if that works. All right, here we go. Hey, I got a marker right here. Easy peasy. So, let's do J, as in Jumpin' Jehoshaphat. Here we go, we got 12.5. 12.5 minus 5. Or wait, it's 12.4. Woohoo, that was close. That was close. All right, so 12.4 minus 5? Did I put the 5 right there? So if I did that, and I subtract, I'd borrow from the 2, and it'd be a 1. So that'd give me 11.9. But is this a 0.5, or is that a whole 5? There you go, it's a whole 5, right? So that whole 5's got to go over here, put a little decimal point, get our 0 on there, then we can rock and roll. 4 minus 0 is 4. And then I can't take 5 away from 2. No matter how many times I try, never works. All right, so we got to borrow from the 1, it becomes a 0. And then we got a little 12 right here. So 12 minus 5, now I can take that 5 away. That's going to give me a 7, right? So we bring our decimal straight down, and it gives us 7.4. I'm going to see if this blue marker will work over here too. All right, so let's see. Ooh, now it's time. Get out that math homework. Let's check out our written practice for tonight's homework. Number 1. Check out number 1. We got Felix. We got Cleon. Not Klingon, that's from Star Trek, Cleon. All right, so we got Felix, Cleon, Teresa, and Cameron have been learning their math facts for practice tests. The scores for their first 2 practice tests are shown in the table below. So we got practice test 1, we got practice test 2, we got their scores on there, right? It says make a comparative horizontal bar graph of each quiz grade. You guys with me on that? All right, so horizontal, remember that's side to side. Remember, vertical is the up and down. So vertical, up and down. All right, horizontal, we're going sideways. So we go this way, and let's see our scores. So we could do a little squiggly line, and we could start with, let's start with 60. And then we can go 65, then we go 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, and I don't think anybody did that well. So there we go, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90. Now, I'm just gonna do Felix, and then you guys can finish the rest on your own. So maybe do one color or an empty open bar. For Felix is first quiz grade, so we'll do this. We'll have a blank bar like this will be quiz 1, and then a solid bar like this will be for quiz number 2. Make sense? So you can do that with your pencil. You don't have to worry about getting crayons or colored pencils out. You can just do this with your pencil. So check it. So on practice test 1, he got 72. So we're gonna make his bar go all the way out here to about where a 72 would be. Sweet, there is quiz 1. All right, now the next one, test 2 or quiz 2 is gonna be solid. So on quiz 2, he got 75. So this bar is gonna go all the way out here to the 75. And then that one's gonna be filled in. Just like so. Sweet. Now do the same for Cleon, do the same for Teresa and Cameron. All right, so checking out, I'm gonna turn the page to 669, or look at page 669. Number 5, check out number 5, guys. It was the ratios, or ratios, if you read it wrong. Ratios, right? So it says there's 24 students and 6 adults going on the field trip. What is the ratio of students to adults? So that was the students first. I'm gonna erase this. Doing it old school. Doesn't get quite as clean. Ah, no. All right, so with the ratios, and let's see, that was number 5. It said they wanted students over the adults, students over adults, and it said we had 24 students and we had 6 adults. Now, don't worry about making this into a whole number, but we gotta reduce it. We can't leave it this way unreduced. Now, I know that the number 6 goes into 6, right? And then 6 also goes into the number 24. So we gotta reduce both these by 6. So 24 divided by 6 is, someone yell it out, awesome, 4. And then 6 goes into 6, 1 time. So 4 over 1, totally good there. Don't worry about making it 4, because if it's a ratio, we wanna leave it like this. Now, basically all they're doing is the reciprocal for B. This was 5A, A, and then B is just gonna be flipping it. So adults, so it's gonna look like this, adults over the students will give you what B is. So pretty easy. Slide down a little bit for 10. I'm not gonna work it out, I'm just gonna show you how to set it up. So number 10, we got a problem that looks like this. So it says, the Seguro cactus weighs 10 tons, 3/4 of the weight comes from the water. So we got 10 tons times 3/4. Now remember, if I'm multiplying a whole number times a fraction, we gotta make that whole number a fraction. Now, easy peasy, put a 1 underneath it, that's it. Now multiply. It's gonna be improper, so you're gonna have to make it into a mixed number. All right, let's check. Turn the page with me to page 670. Let's look at number 13. Remember, number 13 is one of those division problems. So, with number 13, that division problem, we had 1/3 divided by 1/4. 1/3 divided by 1/4. Remember, that first fraction just slides right down. It's like he's in an elevator, just like hits the button, it goes boo. All right, so we're going 1/3. Now, our division sign is going to change, right? So as we bring this guy down, he changes and becomes multiplication. Now, this last fraction does a little flipsy-do right there, and we go upside down. So we go 4/1, because we're using the reciprocal. Since we're changing it to multiplication, we have to use the opposite, the upside down, the reciprocal of 1/4. So we flip it over. Now, multiply. 1 times 4, 3 times 1, gives us 4/3. Now, since this is just a regular math problem, it's not a ratio, we can't leave it improper like this. So 3 goes into 4 how many times? Someone yell it out. Awesome, goes in 1 time. We can write it up here. So 3 goes into 4 1 time. We subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1. So with this kind of problem, we wouldn't write it with a remainder like 1, remainder 1. With this one, we're going to make it a mixed number. Since we're dealing with fractions, we're going to make it a mixed number. So this 1 goes up on top, and our 3 goes on the bottom. So our final answer is 1 1/3. So that should help you with 14 and 15, because they're both exactly the same kind of problem. Let's see, 16 and 17. Be careful on 16 and 17 that you are subtracting when you're supposed to subtract and adding when you're supposed to add, especially with 17, because notice m has to be a bigger number than your answer. So m minus 1.4 equals 3.75. If you get a number that is smaller than 3.75, the answer is wrong, because we're subtracting. So that means we're going to have to add to get the answer of what m is. Yeah, there you go. I just kind of gave it away. And hopefully that helps you with 16, because it's the opposite. Okay, cool. Let's see, what other problem do we have? Let's check out number 29. Number 29, huge word problem. I'm going to help you guys out a little bit with that one. It says Brian estimates that his SUV, sport utility vehicle, travels about 21 miles for every gallon of fuel that it uses. So let's get rid of this guy right here. If you weren't done copying that down, hit rewind, hit pause, copy it down, right? You guys should be using this time to get those answers right. So we got number 29, right? Number 29, Brian, his car gets about 21 miles per gallon. And then it talks about his friend Trina. Her car gets about 5 better than that, so it gets about 26 miles per gallon. And they're going on a 500-mile trip. And we're trying to figure out how much less gas Trina is going to have to buy on that trip. So we're going to use compatible numbers. Compatible numbers to solve this thing. Now, what number is 21 close to that's going to go into 500 pretty even? Yes, that's right. We can round this down to 20 miles per gallon. Cool. So then we're just going to divide that 20 into 500. Sweet. Now, 26. There's a number really close to 26. That 500, that can go into 500 pretty even also. So we're going to do the same thing. We're only going to drop it down by 1. And we're going to take it to 25. So 25, we're going to divide it into 500. So 20 goes into 50 2 times. That gives us 40. And we do a little subtraction, we break down our 0, that's 100. Now, we could go 2 goes into 10, or 20 goes into 100, 5 times, right? So let's try it out. Let's see if it works. So 5 times 0, 0. 5 times 2 is 10. Do a little subtraction, that's 0. Awesome. So he's going to have to buy, Brian's going to have to buy 25 gallons of gas. Sweet, let's rock and roll here. So 25 goes into 50, kind of a tough one. Or we could also think 2 goes into 5 2 times. So let's try that out. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. Subtract those two, that's 0. Drop our 0. Now does 25 go into 0? No, it does not. Alright, so we got to put a 0 up here. 0 times 25 is 0. 0 minus 0, 0. Oh man, there's lots of zeros going on here. Alright, so Trina is going to have to buy 20 gallons. So, let's see, Trina will buy about how many fewer gallons? So, blank fewer gallons. I'll make you finish that up. So, what are you going to do? 20, he's buying 25. She's getting about 20. So, how many fewer gallons is she buying? Find the difference there, y'all. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed today's math, and we will rock and roll tomorrow with some new math. All right. Check you guys later. Hope you have a good night. Enjoy your science lesson that's about to come for you Room 10 people out there, and check you later.